A stage, and all men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So today, myself, Dr. Farhan Asfaro, is the convener of today's session, the convener of O. Sterling Global University 5 Days Faculty Development Program, blended mode, in collaboration with Maharaja Agrasen University, Solan, on advancing in research and technologies in education with a special reference to National Educational Policy 2020. Day 2, Session 1. So, good morning, everyone present here. I extend my very warm welcome to all of you, to all the dignitaries present here. हजारों साल नरगिस
The connection गया.
हजारों साल नरगिस अपनी बेनूरी पे रोती है, बड़ी मुश्किल से होता है चमन में दीदावर पैदा. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them. So, without wasting time, let me introduce you to today's resource person, Day 2, Session 1, Dr. Aparna N. Mahajan. She is virtually present with us, and she is going to speak on the role of research in teaching and administration competence for holistic development. So, Aparna ma'am अपने तारुफ की हामी नहीं है. Dr. Aparna N. Mahajan has done her graduation in electrical and power engineering from Nagpur University, then her post-graduation in power system from a government college, that is Aurangabad. She did her PhD from Banasthali Vidyapeeth in electronics and communication engineering in the broad area of Bacular ad hoc networking. Dr. Mahajan has over 31 years of teaching and administrative experience and has guided a number of undergraduate and postgraduate projects with a number of publications in national and international journals and conferences. She has also published 4 patents. She has organized a number of workshops and seminars. And personally, she has worked on personality development and communication skills in reputed engineering institutes in NCR. Dr. Mahajan, she was the former chairperson of Women in Engineering REE Delhi section. She was conferred 3 Outstanding Brand Counselor Award from IEE Headquarters, New York, and IEE Delhi section in 2015. She was also conferred Best Teacher Award ECE in 2006 by Rao Virender Singh, former Finance Minister, Government of Haryana. Recently, he is Dean Academics, Director Engineering in Maharaja Agrasen University, Balli, and President IIC. तो स्वागत करते हैं तालियों के साथ डॉक्टर अपर्णा एंड महाजन.
Thank you.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, now please proceed.
Should I start? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning to all. Honorable Pro Vice, Madam, I will have to make my video off. There is a problem of connectivity here.
But as you
Video
wish,
off करना
as you
पड़ेगा.
feel comfortable. If you are convenient with that, then it's okay.
Because weather is bad, so I'm getting disconnected at every moment. So I'll, for the time being, make the video off, right?
Okay.
Okay, good morning to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Ajay Poddarji, all the officials, Convener Dr. Mahinder, Co-Convener Ms. Kanika, and all the attending faculty members. My topic is on holistic education. Without, let me share my presentation, please. I hope my presentation is clear. It is visible. Hello, madam, is it visible, my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Yes.
Okay. My topic given is role of research, teaching and administration competence for the holistic approach. Now, before I go further, I'm unable to move ahead actually. Okay. I am unable to switch my PPT, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay. Kavita, Ajay ko bulan. It is some technical problem. I will go ahead with the topic. What is this holistic approach? Before I proceed to my topic, a few years back, while in IEEE as a chairperson of Women in Engineering, the base of this topic was, in fact, the topic which is given by Stephen Covey, that 7 habits of highly effective people, wherein role of teachers, role of doctors, everything, the role of faculty members, kids, school children, etc. This holistic approach was given 20 years back. What is that exactly? Holistic means not on stick to one. It is a versatile approach, which is the requirement of need of an hour, today's need of an hour. Because whatever right now we are doing, we are teaching, we are making, going for some research, we are innovating some things, we are running IICs, we are running these FTPs, workshop and whatnot. In addition to that, we are doing projects, research projects, but for all these, we are not balancing our lives. But at the same time, if we talked about, we start about from the kids, school children, followed by college, universities, all the streams of universities and all, and for our teachers and higher officials, it is necessary that the balance has to be made with some approach. What is this approach? What is this competency word? Competency basically means that to make the balance of not one, more than one. As far as women are concerned, especially if I can take the example in engineering, or any job, they have to balance home and workplace. Where in workplace we have to go for versatile activities. At the same time, if we talk about the students right from school and colleges, they have to be a versatile person and industry made. Whether they go for entrepreneurship, whether they need to develop some skill, whether they need to do job in corporate sector, academic sector, anything. They cannot just study and go ahead. They cannot get the position or whatever you are right now doing. So this holistic approach has many feathers. Those feathers are: number one, our behavior attitude; number two, to develop our skills. Now these skills basically cover, I am unable to move with my slide, I am calling my IT person, he will do that. Meanwhile, I keep on talking. Okay, this holistic approach will give us a versatility between the various skills. Now, what are these skills? See, I will first target the skill and innovation, because the topic relates to research in teaching, in administration, which I have gone through, because it has gone 41 years to become an engineer for me, when girls won't, dare to go to engineering in my time, 81 or so. So that time we were having just jobs in teaching, no else, nothing extra work has given. None of our teacher did it, just they used to teach us one project at the final year. I'm just right now taking the example of engineering, it goes for sciences as well. So, but right now the scenario has changed. You have to develop your mental ability to develop our mental ability in technical, non-technical and spiritual way. We have to balance in our mind. So this holistic approach will help us in practical, not theoretical, because this theory is going, I have deliberately chosen this topic, said yes or my consent to this topic. It is first for me. But at the same time, in whole NCR, I have given lectures on these 7 habits of highly effective people, the book written by Stephen Covey, which is the base for this, holistic approach, why it is necessary and how we can maintain right from children, mothers, faculties, higher officials, doctors, whatnot. Okay, so to develop with our mental ability, we have to be first approach is to become a spiritual in any way, spiritual in good way. like meditation and all that. I won't be focusing on that, but we need to set, because we have seen the best example of corona, which has stopped the world for 2 years, wherein we have seen so many cases, so many imbalanced cases for kids and on all communities. So this holistic approach in research, in innovation, in administration, it is applicable to all. How it is applicable, to make the competency, to make the balance? It is applicable in the sense we have to fix up the timeline, as this book is the observation for all. That Stephen Covey, who died away 10 years back, he took the observations for all the categories, and he has written this book, which led to the holistic approach in research, innovation, and all administration. Because what he says is that if we talk about the word holistic and the competency in life and in our job, we are now, I'm targeting to faculty members, we have to first go for three things. Develop yourself through this holistic approach. What is that? What is that develop yourself? Number one, to balance the timeline. So that time quadrant would be in four quadrants. What is important for you, what is urgent for you, which is not important but urgent for you, and which is not urgent but important for you. You have to draw the timeline for that to before we proceed to the holistic approach, because nowadays only one skill is not sufficient to go ahead in innovation, in administration, in research. We have to go for many. Secondly, he quoted the theory under this holistic research conscious. We have two brains, two brains mean two types, analytical and some skill brains, right and left brain. He says that one has to be a decision maker in any category to proceed for this holistic approach. Because in these seven, I'm not going to discuss those 7 habits here. I'm coming to this holistic approach and the competencies in these three categories. Make yourself competence with the world. If we talk about some job profile, he has to manage his subordinate, he or she has to manage the subordinate, he or she has to manage the superior also. There needs a balance. So you have to first improve yourself, be a good decision maker, be a good leader. And further he says that the habit of flexibility, because in this holistic, I'm reading some articles for this particular tag since 1 week, just a glance, not in depth I could go. When I found that the base of this holistic approach in any category, including this research, teaching, and administration, comes to the 7 habits, and the next one is 8th habit. So first, to develop ourselves, which is highly difficult if we go beyond the age of 25. You must be also watching the students now studying in your university, that their habits have totally changed post corona. It is highly difficult to make them again back to the education. Their mindset has also changed, their mental balance is also disturbed. So this holistic approach will provide, or I can say it can support it. Now, next one is that the most important in this holistic approach is empathy. What is this empathy? Actually, it is not sympathy. I can just visualize your situation. If I would have been at your place or somebody's place, what I would have felt. Not always कि मैं किसी को बोलूँ नहीं कि ये हर टाइम नहीं, but as far as possible we have to be empathetic, which will make us a good decision maker, because this holistic approach also covers the qualities of leadership, this approach. Now coming to the feathers of holistic approach, feathers of holistic approach are: one is spiritual, another one is at some research part or skill. I will come to the skill. Now if we come to the skills can get divided technical, non-technical. If we talk about our universities or the students studying in our university, this skill set. Now if we take the engineering of example of engineering, only BTech won't give them a good job, only BTech won't make them a good entrepreneurship. So nowadays the startup, patents, and entrepreneurship, these things are moving fast. So to develop a student or to change the mindset of the student, we need to incorporate some sort of skills which are all of us are trying. IISc is one of the, I'm heading this IISc since 2018, wherein we are trying to incorporate this kind of skills in students, and we find sometimes difficult that the students will cooperate. Most of the students should cooperate to us. Now, what these skills are, the skills non-technical. Suppose we take example of computer engineering. The technical skills or these technologies are changing per second. How to compete them? How to get the good job? Because this holistic approach also includes the jobs. How? Because unless and until the students passing out or they don't know what are soft skills, you must have observed that at the time of interview, once they cross this aptitude test and go for either group discussion or interview, they fail in. And it is the survey made up by so many newspapers and IITs that most of the students in India, they lack in communication and soft skills, how to address. And all of us are trying. We are organizing the workshops, we are holding some sessions for mock interviews and all that. So those skills are also to be incorporated to proceed for this holistic approach. It has a big role here. Who will do that? It is a role of teacher basically. But all the way we cannot completely do something for the students. How to compete to the world, how to make them industry made, how to make them, I mean, agree for as an entrepreneur. Right now, if you look at the situation in rural areas like us, the students who do not agree to go beyond these rural areas. On the contrary, the world has increased. The industries are global. We are come from 1.0. When I was studying engineering in 81, it was industry 1.0, then 2.0, then 3.0. Now we are in 4.0. So according to industry 4.0, NEP 2020 has introduced all these things. But my mindset is that you cannot change anybody overnight. To bring that XYZ through this holistic approach, let it be student, let it be teacher, let it be official like me, it is highly difficult. So how to do least efforts for that? Because all of us know students mostly do not like advice. वो सुनते हैं, जैसे ऑनलाइन भी कुछ सेशन है, आपने कोरोना में नोट किया होगा कि कितना कितना सुनते थे स्टूडेंट्स को, कितना उनसे इफेक्ट होता है. So this is a most difficult task when the industry comes and the students realize by the time they get it. So how to indulge such kind of things to the students first? I will first focus on students, then faculty, means in teaching arena, higher education systems, and then go to the administration. So first is employment factor. For employment, we need to enhance the skill. For skills, we need to develop both type of skills, soft skills and technical skills. Now, soft skills I have spoken in very short, but as far as these technical skills are concerned, and if we just focus on any kind of engineering stream, as the technology is moving ahead per second, we cannot run after technology. Students cannot run after technology per second. They are confused. It is the fact of life. They are not reading books the way we used to. So there is a gap. So will this holistic approach in teaching bridge it? No. It will bridge, but at the same time, student or teachers or administration should be proactive towards it. Then the role of whatever title we have in research, because the skill set, what is suitable for them, what kind of mindset they have, and what is the latest technology running in the industry. And only final year or pre-final year will not help them. So we need to start. That is why this NEP 2020, a few universities and colleges are implementing it. I'm sorry, I will again ask just a moment. I need to show you some slides. For the interruption, I have called the IT person to correct, check these files, Meanwhile, I will go ahead. So what is the role of training and placement? Through holistic approach, is it possible? And teachers, we have mentors for this placement. So this role of teachers and the officers for the students through this holistic approach would start or should start since first year, since their inception for the curriculum. I am right now, because of the time constraint or whatever time is allocated to me, I am taking just example of engineering. It can be applicable to sciences as well. Now, what is the another aspect of this role? In Corona, most of the software industries are now online. SCL is still online. A few officials are going, a few managers are going. So it is a threat. So many are giving layoffs, like Google, Twitter, so many. So it is a big challenge for students, for universities, and all that. So what should we do? We should give them whatever I could go beyond. We should give them some options. Which are the options? Now, most of the universities and institutions, they have started AI, ML, and data sciences, which is a familiar, which is a, okay, I will do that. Okay, ठीक है. I hope I am audible now. Is the slide seen there? Second slide is seen, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I can move it. Okay, so now this I have spoken about. What is this holistic education and approach? What is the goal of approach? I will come to the placement. What are these? Are the I will come back. This is the holistic development I was talking about. Imagination, which I was talking about. The 7 habits of highly effective people. All these skills are included there to develop through the holistic approach. Imagination, which I have spoken about, we have right brain and left brain. So one is analytical and one is imaginative. Where is this cognitive skill means skills of understanding. Analytical brain is normally given for analysis and skill, and our one side of brain is logical thinking brain. So accordingly, the person can be a decision maker. Next is creative skills, which I was right now technical as well as non-technical. The biggest challenge for students and all officials is emotional part of holistic development. What is this emotional part? It is the right now, post corona and during corona, so many students, including the youngsters, they are facing this problem. So there is, again, I will refer to one book, Emotional Intelligence, which is the I mean balancing of mind, which is highly difficult because everybody is going through different situation. Everybody is stressed right now. Everybody has to do research. Everybody has to go for innovation. Everybody has to balance the families, and everybody has to do teaching, everything. So it is highly difficult. So the empirical approach through emotional intelligence for this holistic development would help a lot. Then language skills, which I have spoken about, we have to develop them. Now, I don't know, only teachers are there whether to tell or not. There are few years back, Bajaj industry, they introduced one small model depending on this holistic approach, wherein they told regarding this communication skill, a very small exercise which I'll speak at the last. So language communication skill, then physical skills, you have to maintain it, which is a matter of very a delicate matter right now, post corona and during corona. Then spatial awareness, self awareness, and social skills. So basically, this holistic approach through NEP 2020, and in other countries it was already existing. In other countries it was already existing. It is not a new. We are now incorporating. We are trying to. Nobody, excluding a few universities, have implemented NEP 2020 as it is, because there are lot many parameters which are big challenge to implement it. But we are also in the process to implement it, our university as well. So this is actually, this approach is nothing but a philosophy. These are aspects of this for these learners and this education. Again, I will say, it is a child center, it is a staff centered, it is admin center, and it is also research center pedagogy, not only children center pedagogy, this holistic approach. So what is the next one? Next one is the biggest one, which is flexibility. Before we go to the flexibility, this holistic approach says that you are watching this slide, how brain development influences holistic development. So there are four categories in general. Cognitive, which is the power of understanding. Now your university must be also uh, participating in this Smart India Hackathon. So many competitions coming through IICT and otherwise as well, wherein we see in PhD thesis also, PhD, while doing PhD, we write this word problem solving. So we get what is the problem around only the officials. It is not possible for them, so are getting the problems in every arena and trying to find out the solution. So cognitive means to power of understanding, then understanding concepts. So there is one theory, um, POC, proof of concepts. We are doing projects for now. Right now, it is included in engineering curriculum since 6 semester in stages, stage 1, 2, and 3 till 8 semester. They have stopped telling an overall intelligence. So, what does it mean? The cognitive approach in holistic development actually helps all, I'm using the words all, in understanding and increasing their intellectual power. Next one is, next quadrant is language, which I have already spoken. So this language skills, now I will take our example, rural area. I don't know regarding you, but mostly students can understand what I'm talking, but they are unable to face, which we have noticed repeatedly in most of the universities, to face it physically, face to face language skills. So there are YouTubes available. We can run in our communication labs. We can take their session, mock sessions under the aegis of personality development. And all these four quadrants, including one skill is left here. We are running now value-added courses also in teaching mostly. So they can be given as personality development, they can be given as the entrepreneurial skill, they can be given for the various skills. MSMEs are also around us. So many industries are also surrounding us. So we can approach the industry, and basically this NEP 2020 and the models like IIC and IEEE, they are actually the industry academia collaboration. I'm a member of NEET AICT as well, wherein I have gone through the evaluation process last week for the Ministry of Education. And so many industry and academic experts were there, where the problem was discussed, and industry people were actually presenting their startup ideas and their complete process, how work plan, etc. The purpose behind it for any 2020 to 20 was to build in practical, not as a formality. We are giving industrial visits, we are calling industry personas, but such sessions should be fruitful, more practical. Actually, the gap I find, whatever is my experience, I had been for 1 month abroad as well in US. The gap I found, if I'm not quoting wrong, it is the practical approach. They are more practical. Rest of the, now we are becoming, definitely we are changing in the technicality, we are changing in the skills, but only theoretical knowledge within four walls will not help us. So through some efforts, I will say extraordinary efforts, because see Smart India Hackathon and other competitions coming, AU, etc., we have to develop few students. We have to make the batches, like we have made slow learners and fast learners for NAC purpose, etc. So slow learners, we can motivate them through this holistic approach. Again, now there somewhere in NEP 2020, we are introducing the language wise graduations as well, because in HES a few universities and few states have already implemented it. But otherwise, the in as far as communication skills are concerned, English is must, at least some content of professional English, because we have to maintain the balance in quality and quantity, because research, patents, innovation, then science and technology projects, then all teaching, then admin jobs, whatever people must be going through, and including myself, it is highly difficult to balance them. So such kind of things should be, I mean, divided. Students should be divided. Those who are bit fast learners, we can make the groups of the students, indulge them a few sessions through this holistic approach. Try to call some expert, try to visit some incubation center, call the expert who is practically very versatile, and help the student in through this holistic approach. Then physical, which we already know, and students are normally working there. I will go to the social and emotional. Now, this is another aspect by this NAP and this holistic, wherever which gives a transformation. I am again quoting my sentence which I have quoted earlier, that nobody can be changed. Normally, a science theory says that we cannot change anybody's personality after certain age. Normally the age is between 25 to 30, because I have given so many lectures under these 7 habits. How can this transformation um, get done? How it is possible? How can it be a tool for teaching strategies through this holistic education? How this role of research in teaching admin, balancing or competency for this holistic knowledge will help, or development can help for all of us, not only students. But students will also look at what we are doing. They will follow us. Just telling or just advising them won't be sufficient. So we let them understand the knowledge, something which is constructed by contained in person lives. Now, again, the same, this approach in education will warranty for any individual to develop the relationship and transferability. But the percentage, whatever data I have gone through, or 7 to 8 papers, I found that the survey has been done for 7 to 8 countries apart from India. Only 1 or 2 surveys I could make out for India. But obviously, this NEP 2020 must be after a huge or extensive survey. It is highly difficult to I mean, make the transformation for anybody else, because again, the same components which I have seen earlier, you cannot change it. But what could be done then? Then systematic approach for this holistic approach is required. What is this systematic innovation? These are a few parameters which include technical and non-technical. A very rough example I am giving, extremely rough. Now, normally we are approaching to some schools. Yesterday also some 11 and 12 standard science student from government senior secondary school uh, visited us. We are also visiting some schools. We are also visiting government polytechnic near around us, and we are trying to indulge this holistic approach to them to some extent, because we are also fully aware it is highly difficult. So if they learn, because what to do, a big decision. When we passed out this engineering, it was the era, this no word like holistic approach and all was available. It was highly difficult even to talk to the teacher. HOD तो बहुत दूर है, रजिस्ट्रार तो और दूर है, प्रिंसिपल तो और दूर है. So अब माहौल अलग है. We students can interact, student can get guidance from teachers, even principal, even HOD, even director, from anybody. The scenario has changed. Secondly, at our times, the scenario was totally theoretical. No such kind of things where they only get pass out and get the job. Because the less number of students, no private university was there. Now these things like holistic approach and all that, these are required because the institutions have largely increased, because the because the ratio, this is the underlying thing, because the ratio of passing out the graduates and the jobs available in any domain, it is an inverse ratio. If I take the example, just now AICT in its presentation through NEET told us, if it is 1:8. Such kind of policies are actually the reference, I can say, to meet or to bridge the gap between the inverse ratio of passing out the students and the jobs available. So these startups, entrepreneurship, MEs, these are the efforts made by, or being made, I can say, through government to bridge this gap. But outside countries, normally it starts from senior secondary school, which I observed in the month of October. They earn and learn, they earn and learn. But for as far as we are concerned, so very few students, they establish their startup because of the risk factor. So such sessions we are continuously organizing to remove the fear. We had MSME people yesterday as well to address the school children. We started with the school children of 10th and 12th to make them decision maker, good decision maker in the confusing state for getting the job or being the entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur. So such sessions are highly difficult because the business, today's business model, business can be a kind of entrepreneur. Business can be, if I'm working somewhere, it can be it can also be called as business model. So we need to work out for different strategies. What should be those strategies? Strategies will, I hope I'm not boring all of you. The strategies will include, again, the 7 factors which I have quoted earlier. If we talk about the innovation, if we talk about the admin, if I'm a teacher, immediately to go to the administrative position, there would be some gap. Students coming from 12th standard directly to the professional college, particularly in engineering, the mathematics there, the physics there, the chemistry there, the syllabus of that at the school level and the syllabus in the professional college, it is a gap. And so normally we observe that the student face difficulties in such kind of school level subjects, which is physics and chemistry and basically mathematics. So all this first semester effort should start from this communication skill, a small introduction of um, technology, because normally the subjects are common in the first year. One of the industrialists from incubation center visited in the month of May to our university, because we were mentor for 5 universities or 5 institutions through IIC. He told us one major thing. One of the factor, or we can say parameter, to bridge the gap between the industry and the academia and to make the students proactive, and to develop the skill set, the major factor is flexibility, which comes in under the emotional tag, which I have shown you earlier. How to do that? It is highly challenging to make them ready, I can say, for industry. See, the students ignore most, I'm not generalizing it. Students in the first 3 years or first 2 years in BSc, they ignore it. But the moment they face the interview and see the profile of the company and look there for 10, 15,000 salary jobs, they immediately reject or hesitate. कि अरे मैं engineer बन गई, would I take this 15,000? So, but by the time they realize it, it is too late. So again, this is the effort through NEP to make the holistic approach or research kind of things, innovation kind of things through the systematic approach. Systematic word is very important. First thing, there is no discipline. Students are not majorly, I'm talking again, not generalizing, they are not disciplined. The realization of the scenario, social development is last factor, and it cannot be indulged forcefully. So organization behavior, this is the reason where we are incorporating such kind of things. One law subject, nowadays we are introducing this personality development. उसमें भी हम categorization करते हैं value added में. Why this is so? Student feel it is a burden. Sometimes faculty also feel that it is a burden. But again, through the role of these research, if we try to balance them so that it cannot be a burden through technical subjects and these non-technical challenges, I can say, we can somewhere have the balance to some extent, not even 50%. It is my experience, because the products, in products, I can say, we are writing in our syllabus. Take an example, I can just give role. If we talk about in teaching, we are writing in the syllabus, what is the objective, what is the outcome of this subject, what is this and what for NAC. You must be going through that while articulating the syllabus. But do we really go for that? What is the outcome of that? So what we are trying now since this year through our board of studies to indulge one practical subject and once in a while, in a week, call some industry persona who is expert in the latest technology for every branch. And one professional, okay, teachers are very good, training placement officer is very good at their places, but we are restricted to the syllabus. So the person who can balance the industry academia and make the role in research, make the students, motivated towards this approach, I can say, to industry made, or go for entrepreneurship, and make them realize the importance of job, make them realize that, because there are only four, if again I focus to the engineering, I can give the best examples in engineering. Being an engineer, they can go for defense, they can become a teacher, again PhD is the constant like us, they can go for corporate, or they can be entrepreneur. These are at least four one. So they, through this holistic approach, we can guide them, we can guide even teachers, we can guide admin. There are two things. One is short term goal, because we are talking about what is the goal and what is the objective of this holistic development, why this is the tag, why this role has come in the picture. Through NEP 2020 was already existing, and this is the reason, this approach is the reason for outside countries to go for more practical thing. So one short term goal and one long term goal, where to make the students proactive through this, so that they can at least decide in a halfway in the phase of second year itself, and work through teachers guidance and rest of the experts for getting the job or whatever they need to do. So organization has a big role. Strategies we plan both from student side, from teacher side, and from administration side. Through research side, they are also important. Then marketing, it is a era of marketing. Chair table job is not there. Various technologies and the processes, which are the latest processes nowadays going on. So what we normally advise to the students is that we tell them, you know, to suppose the student is belongs to CSE. So look at the latest areas, latest domains in that. कि AI है, ML है, data sciences है, every college is running now the specialization. If we talk about electric vehicles, we have made electrical car right now in the last semester. Smart grids are there, modern city are there, smart cities are there. So chalk down, it is the role of teacher through holistic approach. Because why I'm using this word competence for holistic development being a topic, because it cannot be done straight away by telling or by guiding. So to indulge this, jot down this area, whoever is competent in that particular XYZ domain, and the second short goal is ready, accordingly, he or she will take or will make the decision in the same phase. Now, next one is, yes, look at the a few. They are not the only. These are the few skills, 10 skills in the roadmap of 2025. You can just have a glance through this, what technologies are available. In all technologies, one last aspect was social aspect. Social aspect is the last one, because when once we focus to the technologies, only 10 I have jotted down till 2020. We are in 4G. China was in 4G 15 years back, which was the fact. This is why they are dictating. They do not have any holistical development or approach in their uh, blood, I can say. But countries like Europe, countries like Korea, the biggest country who is following this approach is Japan. And this is the reason, this is the big statement. Hope I'm not mistaking or wrong anywhere, whatever papers I have read. Japan is always ready to face the crisis. ऊपर earthquake भी हो रहा है तो they will wind up their work, and then they only leave the systematic way. This is what I have learned who have visited Japan. So Japan is supposed to be, European countries and Japan and US, they are supposed to be, including Korea as well. These are the countries who are normally following the holistic approach in all these categories. I have also observed in US research, teaching, and administration. So these are at least 10. Our roadmap is huge, because 5G will come 20, I hope 20, beyond 2030. We are at right now, sorry, 6G I'm talking about, and right now the availability of the skills or technology where scientists are working, it is up to 7G. जो मैंने अब तक 4G 5G 6G तक मैंने लेक्चर्स दिए बाहर, तो 7G तक वर्कआउट किया है, अभी तो 5G भी नहीं आया है, ये जो स्किल सेट है. So it should be left in students' mind कि arena in electronics where we are not getting, no, none of the colleges are getting electronics and communication engineering admissions, mostly because of some confusion. Electrical engineering, CSC, mechanical engineering, so many highways are being done, so implemented. So civil engineering plus in between whatever things like mechatronics and robotics, these things should be indulged in their mind through some expert practical lectures. What are the things available for me? Because if we are moving ahead, 4G 5G, 4G is over, almost 6G, telecom sector is always open. Then if we are moving ahead, smart grid and smart cities, then always electrical and electronic sector is always open, and both all are intermingling. One expert who had visited last week to us, one big industry expert, he said that we normally do that, but when students face the interview, sorry, aptitude test for any good company, normally the questions occur on C, C++, so all the branches on engineering, they must have knowledge in basic computer engineering because everything has been digital now. So this also is included in holistic approach, and one of the reason through any 2020, if I'm not mistaken, robotics and drone making, these things are included at school level, senior secondary school level, and they are now, they have targeted since last year SIH, Smart India Hackathon for school separately, and Smart India Hackathon, the effort is, the reason behind is that अब ये holistic approach का यहाँ रोल क्या है, स्टूडेंट, हम स्टूडेंट को अगर ब्रीफ करेंगे कि आप तैयार करो प्रोजेक्ट, ये फैकल्टी आपको, दे विल गाइड यू, another competition comes in, and again the students get frustrated कि एक ग्रुप या दो ग्रुप अच्छे, तो how many students can go for it, they feel bored and frustrated कि ये क्या करना है हमें. So this, the industrialist, we also knew it, but he guided us and advised that you make the groups of the students, let one session for faculty in a week, once or twice in the project. पहले दो तीन, जैसे हम PhD में सिनॉप्सिस के लिए बहुत सारा लिटरेचर सर्वे करते हैं, वैसे स्टूडेंट्स को कुछ यूट्यूब से और ऐसे सर्वे करके ये अप्रोचेस का एक थोड़ा सा नॉलेज देके उनसे उनको इंटरएक्टिव बनाओ. Holistic development, the big one of the important parameter is the interaction. आप देखो, अभी जब भी हम FDP वगैरह कहीं भी जाते हैं या वर्कशॉप में जाते हैं, आई डोंट नो, इन frequently it occurs that any questions हमने कोई expert ने बोला, nobody ask it, no students normally, only a few or rare are there. So all these skills, they are incorporated through this approach. This development is versatile. Industry needs a package, not only the person who is getting 9 credits on 10. The era has gone, the jobs are not table and chair job. So it is a kind of, I can say, digital marketing or marketing, technical marketing jobs. If we talk about engineers, we talk about science people, everybody has to enhance or get the expertise, because company will hire the person or the student who is versatile one, a package. The industry has used this word in their address before the interview. We need a package, at least package they use. A bare minimum communication skill, professional approach to the, so they also, I mean, addressed on this holistic development. It is difficult to, I mean, guide them consistently, they will not follow you. So make a plan, make a work plan, I can say, divide it strategically, make a good strategy in the skills, flexibility. Now coming to the flexibility factor in through the holistic development for all this role, research may be, administration may, teaching may. Now, normally, if I am expert in some XYZ domain and industry has come, or some faculty is giving interview for some university, any domain, not only engineering, nobody actually accept the word no, I don't know. You have to work upon it. Suppose I'm going for XYZ, I will go through, now websites are already there. What is their platform, what they have done, and accordingly the person will prepare themselves. So basically, coming at the end, this holistic approach is basically for uh, their role, not a single individual role, but role for industry 4.0, let it be any domain, role for the employment for teachers, role for entrepreneurial or skill or startup development, role in terms of communication, technical and soft skills, how flexible they are, then holistic development. यहाँ आप देख रहे होगे academic intelligence, spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence which I have used, and social intelligence. ये बाहर की कोई यूनिवर्सिटी की स्लाइड मैंने कॉपी की है. Actually, whatever stress nowadays people are going through in all the categories, right from students, faculty, everybody, particularly Corona has taught us a lot things. This emotional balance has become an important factor. We have to maintain the balance in our academic intelligence. I was shocked when the company people few years back told students in their address that yes, your technicality is highly important, your credits you are gaining or percentage you are gaining, it is highly important, but we expect at the industry level the habit of, because they ask normally what is your weakness and what is your strength. You must quote it कि I'm hard work वगैरह नहीं, it is the flexibility factor and emotional intelligence we should speak through the holistic development, you know. So, and social intelligence. Social intelligence, there are very rare examples if we talk about in the category. In the research, they are mentioning it in a very important way. Social development intelligence, you know, because this is the reason they have given in this category social plus academic intelligence the whatever facilities are available through government, and we are supposed at the, our academic level and university level or the institution level to help the students financially, morally and technically as well. It is the addition, or we can say the academic and social intelligence to bring up the students, then followed by faculty. We are also handling these DST projects and all that. Everybody has to then, and this can whole come through ये academic और intelligence का जो एक group है या integration मैं कहूँगी, it can brought upwards through this spiritual addition of this spiritual or integration, I can say spiritual and emotional intelligence. मैं इस पे लेक्चर एनसीआर में IEEE के थ्रू काफी देती थी, रिस्पॉन्स बहुत अलग सा आता था. रीजन ये कि ये बोर्डम लगता था कि व्हाट इज दिस रबिश इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, आई एम परफेक्ट, आई एम ए बैलेंस्ड, because it shows your maturity. You know what is maturity? They said मैच्योरिटी इज नथिंग बट कहाँ क्या बोलना है और क्या नहीं बोलना, जिसको समझता है उसको मैच्योरिटी. ये इंडस्ट्री के बंदे ने बताया. इट इज अगेन अ स्मॉलेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ योर होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, क्योंकि डेवलपमेंट पूरी होल वर्साटाइल वे में होनी चाहिए. दैट इज वाई अगेन एंड अगेन दिस 4 factors and 8 factors should come. So spiritual, it is up to individual how to go for it and maintain her or him balance. Then emotional intelligence, it is under our control for this holistic development, because 1 or 2 projects we can go for. We are not scientists, you know, but to place or implement our role for research, in teaching, admin and so many other feathers or parameters we can say in the job, in current scenario. These things really, trust me, it is highly important. एंड इफ आई विल डेफिनेटली रिकमेंड, इतनी बुक पढ़ने का हमारे पास वक्त भी नहीं है, बट इफ बाय चांस यू गेट द फ्यू मस्ट हैव रेड इट, 7 Habits for Highly Effective People. It is not the book by Stephen Covey, it is the just like Gita had huh. Okay, I'll take your 10-15 minutes more and stop. I hope it is highly difficult again to hear somebody for such a long time, but it is my duty given, so I like to do for 10-15 minutes, you know. So how to go for it? In this book as well, for this holistic development, word is very beautiful. It sounds like a बहुत ही pure holistic means. But basically this holistical approach is giving, if possible, I'm using additional word, a kind of warranty to develop. It develops a relationship. It is the biggest factor again nowadays. The way I have told you, not only example of some student, ki to handle our also subordinates and super or higher official interconnectivity. Connect is important in today's scenario, current scenario. So a combination always will work, and the base of this would be the empathical factor. You know, so what is the role? We will see the role of this higher education now. What higher education and what are the objectives of in terms of research? The objective can analyze the personality in a technical and non-technical way for the students. It is called as the twofold objective. And as far as research, role of research for holistic, I will now just categorize in three. Role of teacher, I have already spoken about. Role of research and administration for this holistic development. It can analyze the characteristics for the graduates, because the graduates, the life is too long to face all kinds of scenario, to sustain the job, to maintain their balances at family place and at the workplace, for all, whether it men or women, and to investigation. Basically, this kind of role of research helps. It is said in so many papers that it helps in investigating the students' perception and in academic and non-academic programs. Now what are these academic and non-academic programs for this holistic development? Number one, what are academics? I will just remember and let you know. Academic programs will contain, which we are right now we are doing outcome-based education. We write in the syllabus and trying to do that. Then blended learning. Right now we are doing it. This FDP, online and offline. So blending mode of teaching has also come. This is the role. Then problem-based learning in projects and otherwise also we are teaching students the problem-based learning through various competition and through curriculum as well. Then adoption of the web facilities. Again, we are example, and the Corona 2 years, for example, right from small kids to the offices and academicians. Then inbound and outbound mobility. What is this factor for holistic development under this academic program mobility? What I am connected, our university is connected to US for FDP. It is the mobility and connect through web. Under holistic development, as an example, we can, both of us can be the partner and connect it. Earlier also it was there, but mostly it was offline and in some another way. We are doing MOUs, a kind of collaborations. It is the mobility factor or parameter under academic programs. So for holistic development, what are non-academic programs or schemes we can say? These are student activities which will contain, I think it is cultural, sports. It is also giving the perspective in companies like Infosys, Dell, HCL, they also count the state level categories, the versatility, all round package. So student activities, cultural activities, sports, then community services. We run these blood group donation camps and all that whatnot. All these non-academic program helping the community. One more thing has come through AICT. Right now, I'm forgetting the name. We are running some programs for rural area. We are making the awareness for certain things. Computer education as well. We are reaching the nearby rural areas and towns and doing something. It is the community services through mobility under non-academic programs. Then entrepreneurship, starters, etc., etc. These, so in nutshell, these academic programs and non-academic programs are the conceptualization of this holistic education. Because overall we are bit, including me, sometimes we may get confused what is this holistic development and how to make the competency. It's a big arena. Still now, till now I am not, unable to make a concrete conclusion. इतने पेपर्स मैंने थोड़े पढ़ने की कोशिश करी कि ये कैसे एनईपी भी अगर आपको 5-6 बार पढ़नी पड़ेगी, उसका कुछ आज हमारी भी मीटिंग है ये एनईपी 2020 के लिए कि हमारे लिए कॉम्पिटेंस कैसे follow hoga. As it is highly difficult to implement, but through some stages we can implement this NEP 2020. And because we are all going through this role, research का भी, teaching का भी, administration का भी, और ये integration है. मैंने जो भी स्टडी की इस सब्जेक्ट की, it is an integration through the factors I am right now showing you on the slide. You know, academic and all this, whatever I quoted, I need not repeat it. So, what is our role then? To make some programs, academic programs on the regular basis, not very rare. बिकॉज पीछे का भूल जाते हैं स्टूडेंट, उनको इस स्टेजेस पे एक कोऑर्डिनेशन के थ्रू लाना होगा. इट कैन बी इवन टीचर, स्टूडेंट का फर्स्ट ईयर से शुरू करके सारा एक एक डाल के, वैल्यू एडेड का सही मतलब तो यही है कि हम ये ऐसे कुछ चीजें डाल के उनको एक एक स्टेज से प्री फाइनल ईयर तक, चाहे कौन सा कोई भी डोमेन हो, लेट इट बी बीएससी, बीकॉम, इंजीनियरिंग, if we start in the beginning as early starters, which is example set by abroad countries, you know, we can play the role very correctly. So what is this higher education institution role in producing these holistic graduates? Does it really help? Yes, it is. It that I can say, not to conclude my topic, it helps. The way I am daring to say it, we can induce or incorporate it in stages, because at a whole, as a whole, nobody can grasp it, nobody can go for it. It is highly, you must have watched, if I'm not mistaken, after corona, the students, they are not even, most of the students, or there I can say 50% I can quote roughly, books का उनका थोड़ा सा distance ही हो गया, सारा टाइम टेबल भी क्लिक करेंगे. They are more digitally towards this education, but only digital education will definitely not help. And if we talk and if we even pronounce this word holistic approach, only 2 or 3 will respond to it. None of the teacher or the students will respond to this word holistic. ये बहुत बड़ा लगता है कि करना क्या है अंत में. Is it possible? Only FDP will it give? I'm not an expert on this, but whatever I could go through the research papers, whatever I have observed in my 42 years engineering tenure, because I can say this sentence, I am the person when 10th and 12th started, the first batch. I am the person, I have seen the transformation from 1G to right now 4G, now moving to 5G. I am the person, I have seen the telecom transformation since beginning, our batch, not I, our batch. And we are among the 50 girl students who passed out engineering in India. So we were more theoretical. We are watching this practical work and holistic approach now since past 5 to 6 years. We had no base. We had these reference books, no digital way, nothing. So I hope that this holistic approach will definitely help here to enhance our capabilities and put an example for the students. I hope I can justice my talk and would like to conclude this. So thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Ajay Pottar, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, for giving me an opportunity for as a resource person. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you, everybody, for listening me. Thanks.
By words we learn thoughts, and by thoughts we learn life. At times our light goes out and rekindled by the spark of others. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful session. It was quite informative and it was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
So now I would like to invite Dr. Mahendra. Okay, we have a question session now. Okay, and we have questions over here. So, ma'am, please, we are just going to hand over the mic to our faculty. So,
Okay.
they will be raising some questions.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a question from one of our faculty members.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anna, for this knowledgeable session. As we have understood the holistic approach in our lives and in individual lives, according to my understanding, ma'am, holistic approach also includes the self-confidence of a person, right? So I would like to understand the importance of holistic approach in our life and how important is it to implement the holistic approach.
Ma'am, can you repeat how did, your voice is cracking, how did? Another question, please.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible now?
Your voice is cracking, please.
Hello. Is it okay now, ma'am?
You are audible, but yes, you are audible, but question is getting cracking. Okay,
Okay,
please
I'll just
repeat.
repeat. Yes, ma'am. I'll just repeat the question. My question was actually I have two questions. Not questions. Actually, I would like to rather discuss on this matter. Uh, what is the importance of implementing holistic approach at the elementary level? So when us जब एक बच्चा स्कूल जाना शुरू करता है, जब प्री केजी या फर्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड या सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड का बच्चा होता है, उस एलिमेंट्री लेवल पे हम हॉलिस्टिक अप्रोच को कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करें, उसका इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है? And second
जी.
is how does cultural factors influence the holistic approach of an individual? So
Okay,
these are
thank
two
you.
questions.
Okay, okay. मैडम, ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है जो पहला क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा बच्चों का, और इसका तो लाइव एग्जाम में बार बार यही एग्जाम्पल कोरोना का दे रही हूँ. बच्चों को भी आप खुद देख रहे होंगे, जिनके बच्चे छोटे और स्कूल लेवल के हैं, उनका एक एडोमेंट नेचर हो गया ऑनलाइन की वजह से. उनको होलिस्टिक अप्रोच वगैरह तो वर्ड समझ में भी नहीं आएगा, बट उनको भी अपने स्टडीज का बर्डन हो गया है. उनको डेवलप करने का तरीका ये है कि प्लेफुल वे में, जो मैंने अभी की सेशन अटेंड किया था, प्लेफुल वे में, जो हमें भी शायद पता है, उनको टीचिंग घर पे, क्योंकि हम नॉर्मली ट्यूशंस लगाते हैं, स्कूल में भी वही पढ़ाते हैं. इसका जवाब मैंने वो नॉन एकेडमिक में थोड़ा सा दिया था, जो होता है स्कूल लेवल पे, कि आपकी कल्चरल एक्टिविटीज मेक हिम और हर गेटिंग पार्टिसिपेशन इन अ फ्यू एक्टिविटीज, जिसका उसका वो फियर निकल जाएगा और स्टेज करेज, थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ेगा, और बच्चा अपने आप, ये मेरा खुद का कहना है, मानना है, वो उनको सारी इसमें नहीं. आजकल हम रियलिटी शोज देखते हैं, सब इसमें नहीं, लेकिन जहाँ उसकी कॉम्पिटेंसी या उसकी छोटा सा स्किल हमें बच्चे का फर्स्ट सेकंड स्टैंडर्ड में ही रियलाइज होता है, उसको इम्पोज ना करते हुए उसको पैरेलली आगे लेके गए, तो ये होलिस्टिक अप्रोच ही है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. उन्होंने किड्स के लिए बताया कि होलिस्टिक अप्रोच स्टार्ट्स विद अ कामनेस, काम एनवायरनमेंट, एटलीस्ट एट होम, एंड सेकंडली टू मेक हिम और हर पार्टिसिपेशन इन नॉन एकेडमिक, कोई संगीत है, स्पोर्ट्स है छोटे, लेकिन विदाउट इम्पोजिंग. ये मेरा जवाब होगा. दूसरा क्वेश्चन आपका था,
Does cultural factors influence a holistic approach?
यस यस यस, वो भी नॉन, ये जैसे मैंने किड्स के लिए कहा, कल्चरल फैक्टर तो बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है, क्योंकि ये हमने कनेक्ट वाला जमाना है. कल्चरल प्रोग्राम्स इन वेरी गुड सेंस, दे आर रियली हेल्पफुल टू मेक द कनेक्ट, एंड दे बहुत सारे इसके एग्जांपल्स, रिसर्च हुआ है इस पे, क्योंकि रिलैक्स माइंड, स्ट्रेसफुल जो माइंड आजकल हो चुका है सबका, पहले तो यही सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है. आज अब स्टूडेंट भी देखो, घर के कुछ स्ट्रेसेस, फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रेसेस, सारा कुछ जो चल रहा है, उसके इम्पैक्ट्स, न्यूज, ये सारा सारा जो भी चल रहा है, ये किड्स पे भी अफेक्ट हो रहा है. और इसके कल्चरली इज द वे, कल्चरल प्रोग्राम्स आर द कैन बी द वे टू रिलैक्स हिम और हर थ्रू सम प्रोग्राम्स, नॉट एवरी, ईच एंड एवरी. जहाँ ज्यादा फोर्स रहता है वहाँ बाउंस आएगा आपको. ये हम भी कर रहे हैं, और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए या हमारे लिए भी इट इज हाईली इफेक्टिव. कल्चरल इज द फर्स्ट ऑन स्पोर्ट्स एंड कल्चर, any music, dance, anything. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope I have
Okay.
answered your queries.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Do we have other questions? All right. Okay. So we are very thankful for your informative lecture, ma'am. Okay, now I would like
Thank you.
Dr.
Most
Mahendra
welcome.
Punia, in his defenses to take over his part. Please come.
Thank you. I'll take your leave. Most welcome, and thank you to everybody.
Very good morning to all of you. Thank you, madam, with a very nice lecture and holistic approach to the research development. And your lecture is very nice, and I hope
Thank
your
you.
faculty is learning a lot of things from your lecture. Once again, I thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So the next session will be start on
Thank you.
the.
Most welcome, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
So in the next session, the practical workshop, that means the workshop that in your mind what type of questions arises to listening this type of lectures. So you can discuss ourselves, and you can discuss each other in the workshop session. And I also request you to give the response of the lecture delivered by the resource persons. Yesterday, Dr. Umesh Arya is also discussed on the, some uh, intrapersonal communications. So I also request you to give the response about this lectures and about the resource persons. So if you have any response, then you can also text me on my WhatsApp number. I will share to the resource person, and the resource person asks that what is the response of the faculties. So I request you to give the response about the lectures, yesterday lectures and today also. Every day we will discuss on all these parts. And the next lecture session will be start after lunch, 2:30 to 3:30, and this will be depends on the discussion on the methodology requirements of the research and simulate and capture new approaches. That means the lecture is totally based on the research. Uh, uh, Research is not only a we are not getting on the lectures also. Every day, every time we are gaining something. In the last lecture, we also see a lot of points we can collect, and we can analyze this ourselves and with you. Then we can go to a conclusion, and this one is also becomes a research. Every time we have to see in our nearby areas, and we have to conclude this one. This is the short research, not a theoretical research. Is not only binding a thesis. जनरली माइंड में आता है रिसर्च, तो कोई भी रिसर्च पेपर या थीसिस लिखने की बात आती है, बट रिसर्च कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि बहुत बड़ी हो. एक छोटा हमारे नियर बाय पार्ट में भी हम वर्क कर रहे हैं, और आज के लेक्चर में भी सपोज 1 आवर्स के लेक्चर्स में हमने क्या क्या देखा और कैसे मोस्ट प्रोबेबली मैं भी देख ही रहा था. तो उसमें रिसर्च का जो कंक्लूजन होगा वो मे बी आई विल डिस्कस विद यू, नो प्रॉब्लम. वी कंक्लूड दिस वन. So the next session will be 2:30 to 3:30 and will be delivered by the Anshulekha Gupta, Professor, Department of Management Studies, Graphics, Era University. So I hope you will got lot of things from this lecture. So we will meet 2:30 on the same place. Thank you to all of you. ये भी एक रिसर्च का ही मैटर है. ऑटोमेटिकली एक रिसर्च की हुई है कि 2:30 टाइम दिया है, तो इसका मतलब इंडियन के अकॉर्डिंग तो 2:35 पे आएगा, लेकिन अगर हम किसी वेस्टर्न कल्चर का हम करें तो 5 मिनट हम पहले आएंगे. सो ये भी एक रिसर्च का ही मैटर है.